This is a very random intro, I'm well aware, but please bear with me if I'm like kind of off the side or if I'm like over here too much or something. I usually use my front facing camera and instead, because I use my phone because I'm ghetto like that, but I've decided to start using my back camera just because it's much better quality, as you may be able to tell already. The issue though is I can't see a fucking thing. I don't know where I am on the screen right now. Am I up here? Am I over there? I don't fucking know. ItsOcean. But anyways, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to Month in Entertainment, the show in which I talk about the video games, the movies, and the TV shows that I watched over a given month. Well, when I actually make this, because it's been a while. Something just clicked in the kitchen and I'm very confused right now. There's a ghost in here! It's a kind of... What is happening? So I had a random noise that scared the crap out of me. It turns out Rachel fell over, so that's pretty funny. Fun fact, I got the Life is Strange Before the Storm Collector's Edition, and when I brought it home, one of the figurines had a broken stand. I got that brand new, day of release. But recently I've been struggling a little bit with content for this channel. I've not really been knowing what to do. That's one of the reasons why I've not had one of the typical this particular game videos for a while. Don't you worry, I do have a Lost Judgement video on the way. Actually, after this video, when I'm finished with this video, I'm going to be working on the Lost Judgement video, finally. And thus, because of this, I kind of missed a few episodes of Month in Entertainment. But to be very honest with you, there wasn't really anything worth talking about anyway. There was only one or two things, like a small handful of things over the last few months that I actually really enjoyed. So this episode is going to be Month in Entertainment Roundup Edition. This episode is basically going to be me talking about some of the things that I enjoyed over the last couple of months, not just in one given month. I also quickly want to say, for anyone that is worrying about spoilers, there will be no spoilers in this video whatsoever, so don't worry, nothing that I talk about will be spoiled at all. I got your back, homie. So let's do this. Games! The last few months of video games has been kind of weird for me. As is usually the case with the end of the year, there was an absolute deluge of new releases coming out.
Are you serious? This is torture.
But there are still quite a lot of them that I haven't gotten to check out yet. For example, Metroid Dread has been on my list for a little while. Really excited to check that out at some point. And Pokemon Arceus, however you pronounce it, fucking Pokemon Arsenal recently came out, and I've not got to check out that yet, but I'm really hoping that I can try that soon because it looks really fun. I did, however, finally finished Lost Judgement. After like, what is it now? Like 5 months? I've lost count. And I'm currently working really hard to try and get all the Let's Play episodes that I've been doing of Lost Judgement up. So anyways, for anyone who is unaware about what Lost Judgement is a game made by Ryuga Gotoku. This studio also made the Yakuza games. And the Judgement games may as well be titled Yakuza Like a Detective, because it's basically the same kind of gameplay with a few little tweaks and changes. So if you've played any of the Yakuza games that aren't Like a Dragon, because Like a Dragon has turn-based combat compared to the other Yakuza games which are like fist fighting combat. Come on, you bastard! Come on, you what, dickhead? You what? Oh god, I'm so unfit. Oh, that was so tiring. So in Lost Judgement, you play as Takayuki Yagami. Not that one. A man stands on trial for sexual harassment. But after he's given his sentence, he suddenly mentions a dead body in Yokohama. So Yagami is contacted by his former law employers to help them out with this strange new case. It's a pretty good story with some really great characters and some absolutely fantastic moments. I'll admit, I didn't really enjoy the story as much as the first one. It's still a really good story. I still had a great time with it. I just felt like the first game had a better story. I can't put my finger on why that was the case. And this is one of the issues that the Yakuza games also kind of have sometimes. but this game gets bogged down a little bit too much in cutscenes sometimes. Like, if any of you have seen the Let's Play series I've been doing, there are episodes where I look like I'm about to fall asleep, because the whole episode, like an hour and a half to 2 hours or so, is just nothing but cutscenes, with maybe, go to this location to break it up, and it's just like, oh my god, If you want to focus on the story, it can get really dull in certain points of the story, and I think for me, with Lost Judgment, that affected my enjoyment of the game overall. But the story is still a good time. The combat also is majorly upgraded from the first game, and I'll say it, Lost Judgment's combat is my favourite of the entire franchise. And Lost Judgment adding in 2 new fighting styles, which is the snake style and the boxing style, I'm swearing at you. Oops. But the boxing style is DLC, unfortunately, which is a problem within itself, because I'm pretty sure it's on-disc content that you have to fucking pay for. But oh well, that's just the state of the fucking industry these days, I guess. Legit though, the fighting style is actually really fucking good, like seriously, I love this fighting style so much. The game also has a ton of side content now compared to the first game, which didn't really have too much, with Lost Judgment's new school stories taking centre stage. You can now dance, make robots fight, race motorcycles, play Yagami Hawk's Pro Skater, and drink with cute girls! That's it. Best game, game of the year, best game of the year right there, game of the decade. Lost Judgment feels like a big step up from the original game, and I loved that. The game also still includes the usual side cases, which are kind of like this game's side quests, and these stories can be very entertaining or very engaging. And Lost Judgment's soundtrack is fucking amazing, I love it. Now, I don't usually tend to do this, but I've already done some work on the Lost Judgment video. I've already started preparing some things and editing some things and putting some things together. And I made a little clip for the soundtrack section of this video. So I'm going to give you a sneak peek. Just watch it. The soundtrack is absolutely fucking bumping. I have a lot more to say on this game, but I'm gonna leave that for the Lost Judgment video so that I'm not bogging this video down too much. But Lost Judgment is a great game and I highly recommend it. If you do want to know a little bit more about the first game story or anything like that, I did make a video on that, so if you want to go and check that out before you check out this, feel free to go ahead. If not, then no worries. Figured I'd just quickly mention that. I like to show off my physical games just for the sake of it, and I forgot, so here's Lost Judgment. There you go, what a great game. Mwah. For now though, let's move over to the next game. This is gonna make people question my sanity. It's gonna make people wonder what the actual fuck is going on in my tiny little brain. But I have to be honest, I have to say it. As much as people are gonna click unsubscribe and dislike the video and are gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about in the comments, but I like Cyberpunk 2077. Duh, I said it. Mwah. Now wait, before you get really angry in the comments being like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I acknowledge this game's issues, I do see the problems. Hell, I've 100%ed this game, I'm not kidding when I say that I understand the issues that this game has. And in 2022, on last-gen consoles at least, yes, the game is still quite a mess, there's still quite a lot of problems there, but compared to when I made my video when the game came out, I'd say that it has improved quite a bit. I didn't have anywhere near as many glitches and bugs as I originally did. Now it's more just visual issues, like some of the character models can still be super low poly for a few moments, it can take a little while to load certain things in, and also yes, the gameplay is still nothing really that special overall. The hacking is kind of fun, but otherwise there's still a lot of stuff missing from this world that can make it feel quite empty. I acknowledge that. I'm not saying, no, it doesn't exist, this game is perfect, fucking 10 out of 10, mwah. But even with these issues, this game This game is just, it's intoxicating for me. I can't explain it. It's such a weird game to try and talk about. It really is. But what I love about Cyberpunk 2077 is the story, the characters, the side quests, the soundtrack. Graphically, yeah, it still doesn't look great sometimes, but when it does manage to look great, it can hit different. I still sat there and went, wow, that is cool, or whoa, that is beautiful, every now and then, and I love that. Also, admittedly, I do have a little bit of a kink for neon, so this game takes place in Night City. You better believe there's gonna be a fuck ton of neon. Since going back and playing this game, at launch, I enjoyed it, but not too much overall. I still enjoyed it to a degree, but there was a lot more bugs and glitches and issues that were causing problems for me that stopped me from enjoying the game. But this time, as I mentioned, I went back and I got the Platinum Trophy. I did it. I actually played it on Xbox originally. I had a rented copy, and this copy actually was sent to me by the lovely folks over at Player vs. Player, so you can go check them out if you want to. They are fantastic guys, just a couple of lovely Irish boys doing a great show every Friday over on Twitch. They do a lot of really cool things. Anyway, I'm always talking about them. I can't help it. I'm obsessed. Bitch! I'm also wearing one of their tank tops. Oh, why did I do that? Oh. I got a little bit off track for a second. What I'm trying to say is I like the game more now. I went and platinumed it. I redid a bunch of stuff I had already done, such as the story. I played a completely new character. In fact, I'm actually on my third playthrough right now. I started another playthrough a few days ago after 100%ing the game. I'm not saying the game is that good, it's just that for me, it is the perfect game to play in my spare time. Outside of the story and the side quests where I'm actually paying attention to what's going on, the gameplay is, for me, just great as something to do while I'm listening to live streams or YouTube content or whatever. It's great. But what I'm trying to say is that the more that I delved into this game, the more that I became attached. Johnny Silverhand is this self-centered asshole, somehow. But under all of that cybertech and ego, he has a heart. River Ward is in a constant battle between his job and his family, wanting to break away so badly, but not being able to let go. Judy just wants something good, something beautiful, but the city will not stop taking things from her. Takamura is like a veteran samurai. He knows something is amiss, but he can't break his unwavering loyalty, no matter what that might cost him. There is a lot of interesting people to meet, situations to encounter, such as YouTuber Jesse Cox needing you to drive him to a doctor because his cyber dick blew off. Or an artificial intelligence-ran taxi company having troubles when parts of the AI splinter off into their own personalities. There's a lot to love here, which only makes Cyberpunk's glitches, problems, lack of polish, and just overall problematic functionality that's much more disappointing. I can only hope that CD Projekt Red can really turn this game around and steer it back onto the road, because I want more people to be able to enjoy the stories, I want more people to be able to enjoy the characters, I want more people to be able to enjoy Night City when it doesn't look like that.
It's the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
But for now, I do recommend waiting on this, unless you really, really are desperate to give it a try. I'm not the boss of you. But apparently the next-gen versions of these games are about to come out sometime this year, so it might be worth maybe checking it out then. I don't know, they might be just as much of a mess as this might be, so I don't fucking know. Maybe just pick it up on sale or do what I did and just have a friend send you the game. I don't fucking know. But anyways, thank you for coming to my TED Talk on why everyone's gonna hate me for being a fan of Cyberpunk. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see myself out. I want you to be free. Don't worry about me. And just like the movies we played out on the last scene. So yes, the movies, and by movies I mean one, just movie, singular, because as I've mentioned in a few other episodes, admittedly, I go through these moods where sometimes I just don't really want to watch TV or movies, and I just play video games. Video games are my primary source of entertainment, either that or YouTube content. So there hasn't really been that many movies that I've actually seen lately. But there is one, the one that I need to talk about. I need to gush over this without any spoilers. Just gonna say that before everyone starts running for the fucking hills, panicking like there's a bomb about to go off or something. But oh my god, Spiderman! Spider-Man No Way Home was fucking incredible. I had such a fantastic goddamn time with this movie. Ugh! I went to go see it day one with my girlfriend and my brother, and I had such a goddamn blast. We got one of those awesome day one screenings where everyone is like super into it and having a great time. There was cheers, there was laughter, there was straight up people losing their fucking minds. It was so goddamn good and incredibly fun. Which is great, because when I went seeing Avengers Endgame, it was like nobody gave a shit. The whole theatre was goddamn silent, and I was like sat in a corner just like, because I didn't want to be loud, because everyone was being so silent that I felt so fucking self-conscious about making any noise. So I'm glad this wasn't the same experience. The only issue that I had, it's not really an issue with the movie itself, it's more just the internet in general. I knew about a lot of the spoilers for this before going into it. Unfortunately, there was a lot of leaks, there was a lot of stuff that came out. I saw all of it. I saw all of it. It was still awesome. I still fucking cheered and went nuts and had a great time with the movie. But it did kind of affect my enjoyment just a tiny bit. But what was really awesome is my girlfriend and my brother had no goddamn idea about any of the spoilers. So they were losing their minds, and it was actually super adorable and super cool to see them just being like, the whole time. I'm not going to say much more than that, because as I said at the start, I don't want to spoil anything for anyone that may not have seen it yet. If you are interested in maybe seeing me talk more about the spoilers in this, and just, I don't know, making a short video maybe about what I liked and disliked or whatever, I don't know, let me know. So because I was so hyped about talking about how hyped I was for this movie, I completely forgot in this video to actually talk about, well, you know, the movie. So once again, without any spoilers, for anyone that is unaware what Spider-Man No Way Home is about, Spider-Man No Way Home is the third film in the new Spider-Man Homecoming trilogy. I don't know what the fuck it's called. I am, however, going to have to talk about spoilers from Far From Home, because Far From Home sets up this movie. But at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, Peter Parker was revealed to the world as Spider-Man. Everybody knows his existence. And this film is about him dealing with that. People are seeing him in the street and being like, oh my god, it's Spider-Man. The police are investigating him for his vigilante acts, and for the supposed murder of Mysterio. And now the problem with this is that his identity being revealed is affecting his family, and it is affecting his friends. So in order to try and make all of this go away so that his friends can live happily ever after and do whatever, and that they can all be great chums together, Peter goes to the one person who knows about lots of magic, and that person is Doctor Strange. Strange basically does a spell that's going to reverse the effects of what happened. But it goes a little bit wrong, and because of this, villains from all across the multiverse start to tear into this reality, and it is up to Peter to decide on how to deal with this new threat. But all I can say is that it was a freaking fantastic time, and it may very well be the best thing that Marvel have ever put out. That's how fucking good it was. So now we're going to move over to the television. And I only have one TV show to talk about. The one TV show I do want to talk about, which I actually finished like 2 months ago, but I haven't made one of these videos in a while, so I haven't had a chance to talk about it, is Gotham. Oh my Gotham. This was a Gotham damn good show. So I never watched this show when it came out. I'm not really too big on the superhero TV shows that DC tend to do, but thanks to the new Batman movie coming out soon, I have been kind of in like a Batman mood for a little while, so I thought, you know what, I want to watch something new to do with Batman. So I saw Gotham on Netflix and thought, you know what, sure, let's give this a try. I've heard good things, let's see what this is all about. And oh boy am I glad I watched it. I freaking loved this show. For anyone unaware about what Gotham is a prequel series to the Batman mythos. It's not for any particular timeline, from what I know of anyway, it's kind of like its own thing, but it takes place before Bruce Wayne becomes Batman. Hell, the show actually starts with Bruce Wayne's parents being killed, as is the usual case in all the Batman stories. But this show, for the most part, focuses on Jim Gordon, our good old friend Commissioner Gordon, in his youth. We get to see how he became the man that he eventually would become. We get a little bit more story about Bruce Wayne before he became Batman. And this show features some of those classic villains before they became those villains. You kind of get like the origin stories, which is really cool. Get characters such as Catwoman, aka Selina Kyle. There's Edward Nygma, who of course eventually becomes the Riddler. Riddle me this, Batman! There's Oswald Cobblepot, who eventually becomes the Penguin. And oh my god, do I love Penguin in this show. He's one of my favourite characters. He's such a smarmy little shit that's really smart, but kind of dumb at the same time. He makes mistakes, but he always finds a way to come out on top. I don't know what the actor's name is who played them, but brilliant. Magneto, yep. I meant to say Magnifique. And one of the characters I actually didn't expect to like so much was Victor Zsasz. He's this kind of really like bald, got like no hair on his face or whatever. He kind of looks really creepy. He's this like assassin murderer guy. And in the first season, he was just kind of this creepy dude that was a villain that was just kind of there. But in the other seasons, he actually became one of my favourite characters. That I don't want to say why, because I don't want to spoil anything. I'd rather everyone have their own odyssey with this show. But I loved Victor Zsasz. Penguin and Victor Zsasz, probably my two favourite characters in the show. But Gotham was a fantastic ride from start to finish, as some sections were a bit like, I wasn't quite as interested, but it was one of those shows where I was constantly hooked. I would be awake at 3 AM in the morning, like being like, right, one more episode, and at the end of the episode a big plot twist happens, and I'm like, oh my fucking god, right, one more episode. It's that kind of show, but I highly recommend this show. If you're interested in Batman, or maybe you just want to give a detective style show a go that has some superhero elements to it, go check out Gotham. It's fantastic. So that was Month in Entertainment's The Roundup Edition EX Alpha Plus Y featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. I know it might not seem like too much considering I've had a good couple of months away from this show, but to be really honest, I genuinely didn't really see that many things. I didn't really end up watching too many movies or TV shows, or anything that was worth talking about. And I spent most of that time as well just grinding out stuff in Lost Judgement and Cyberpunk anyway. It's been kind of a slow couple of months for me. I also had a thought that I wanted to run by you. Something I've been kind of thinking about for a little while now, which was this series was an excuse for me to be able to talk about some of the other games that I don't want to, maybe might not want to make a full video on, or maybe might want to give my opinions on the game after a second playthrough or something like that. And this series was also made specifically so that I could talk about the TV shows and the movies that I've been watching. But would you be interested in seeing me do separate videos on some of these properties? Such as Gotham, like I mentioned. Maybe I could do a video on Gotham. It wouldn't be anything too analytical, or, you know, it wouldn't be anything super duper smart where I delve into the nuances of the performances of Jim Gordon or anything like that. It would just be my opinions, and maybe I could do some spoiler talk videos as well. So if anyone wants to know about how maybe I feel about the story for Lost Judgement, for example, maybe I could do like a spoiler talk video that probably would be shorter and probably wouldn't have as many jokes and stuff, but it's just simply to give people an idea of what I felt about the game in terms of the spoiler stuff. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I genuinely would really love to read your comments, because I really genuinely love to see feedback about the stuff that I'm making, as long as it's not being a dick, obviously, like, oh, your content fucking sucks, then that's just, I'm just gonna ignore that. But constructive criticism is always good for people's YouTube channels, and I personally feel like I need that sometimes. It kind of helps me to keep on track and to figure out maybe what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, so let me know what you think in the comment section. But anyways, that's it for this month. The month of technically, what month is it again? Technically January and December, I guess, maybe November. I can't remember if I made an episode in November. I think I made the episode for October in November. God, this series is a mess right now. As I said before, the next video I will be releasing is a Lost Judgement video. And then after that, I'm probably just gonna have some fun. I do have a video on why the Xbox was so great. Just like I did with the GameCube video that I made previously, I'm gonna be making one on the original Xbox as well, so maybe I can do that one soon as well. But anyways, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Toodaloo! Alright, cool, video's over. I can go back to freaking making out with Yagami.